Hello, and welcome to the Clouded Out audio blog. Today we are going to look at the Right to Try bill which recently passed, as there has been much controversy centered around this bill. Many claim the bill is dangerous and creates more harm than good as it circumvents the FDA, that patients can likely have less time with friends and family if they seek treatment. While this may be true, this allows those with a terminal illness to seek treatment and make the decision for themselves. Those patients can discuss the risks and rewards and which treatments are available with their doctors and subsequently their families to weigh if seeking treatment is the route they wish to take. The takeaway here is that it gives them the choice. The treatment may fail and the patient may die early as a result, but it was their choice and they decided to take the risk. The patient is expected to die either way, so why not let them decide their own course of action? Who knows, the patient may beat the illness and have a long life. Yes, there are odds, but it lets the patient choose and be in control and not some faceless government entity. Others proclaim that the bill did not go far enough. They claim that if it is a right, then one should not need to ask permission or face a denial. While this can also be agreed to, one must acknowledge the fact that it is a step in the right direction. Giving more choice to a patient is better than the previously restricted way. Some kind of progress is better than no progress. Tell us down below in the comments how you feel about the Right to Try Act. Have you or someone you know been affected by the act or prevented from treatments in the past? Suffice to say, if you are wondering what the Right to Try Act is, let's dig into the details. On Wednesday, May 30th, 2018, President Donald Trump signed the Right to Try bill, which now affords terminally ill patients the right to try experimental medical treatments and attempt to fight their currently incurable diseases. As such, there's been much political rhetoric and talking points surrounding the issue. Trump, surrounded by many terminally ill patients, adults and children alike, had the following to say about the bill. Thousands of terminally ill Americans will finally have hope and a fighting chance. And I think it's going to be better than a chance. That they will be cured, they will be helped, and be able to be with their families for a long time, or maybe just a longer time. Despite this allowance of the personal freedom, a fundamental right to life and medical self-preservation, a last-ditch effort to cure oneself, there has been just as much criticism as there has been praise on the matter. Lauren McClin has a 9-year-old son, Jordan, with fatal Duchenne muscular dystrophy. In a Goldwater Institute release, McClin recounted how her son has received early clinical trial treatment, how it has helped, and why the right to try freedom can help more than just the lucky 3% who are accepted into clinical trials. Jordan and I are grateful to see the Right to Try Act signed into law today. During our more than 3-year fight for patients to have this right, Jordan was accepted into a clinical trial for a drug we believe is slowing the progression of his fatal disease. We continue to fight for right to try for terminally ill patients who aren't in the lucky 3% of the patient population who make it into trials. Nevertheless, while the patients wish to exert their personal freedoms, the political partisan arena has been heavily divided. There were only 2 Democrats willing to sponsor the bill, Joe Donnelly from Indiana and Joe Manchin from West Virginia, both of whom are vulnerable to re-election. Furthermore, there were only 22 Democrats in the House who supported the bill for passing, while 0 Republicans gave a no vote. Numerous Republicans resonated with the message of Greg Walden, a Republican for Oregon, the Energy and Commerce Committee chairman, as well as Michael Burgess, Republican from Texas, the Health Subcommittee chairman, who said, "While a long time coming, today is a monumental win for patients desperately seeking the right to try investigational treatments and therapies. While terminally ill patients have exhausted all other options, the passage of this bill gives those patients a small light at the end of the tunnel, with which could actually provide new treatment opportunities. Conversely, many argue that it gives false hope to patients and puts them in danger. As Frank Pallone Jr., a Democrat from New Jersey, a ranking member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, has said, the FDA oversight of access to experimental treatments exists for a reason. It protects patients from political snake oil salesmen or the experimental treatments that might do more harm than good. As many can entertain the false hope narrative, what is overlooked is that these patients are simply waiting for their time to die. Being told there is nothing more the doctors can do is nothing short of deflating for the patients and their families. As outlined in The Desire for Death in the Setting of Terminal Illness, a case discussion article from the Primary Care Companion to the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry, an official journal of the Association of Medicine and Psychiatry, patients diagnosed with terminal illness often desire a hastened death. They request this simply because of their will to live is null and void. There is little to no hope. The right to try gives them that hope to carry on. Given the opportunity to attempt one last shot at treatment will not only boost the hopes and aspirations of the patients and their families, it brings with it the real possibility of a cure. It may be cold to say, but the patient is going to die as a result of their terminal illness. Why not go out swinging? Rhetoric aside, what are the actual details of the Right to Try bill? To read the full language of the Right to Try Act, you can find a link on my blog. So what exactly is the Right to Try Act? The Right to Try Act is legislation that allows terminally ill patients access to investigational treatments that have passed basic safety testing, or Phase 1, within the FDA, but they are not yet approved or available on pharmacy shelves. Right to Try expands access to potentially life-saving treatments years before patients would normally be able to access them. While many have contested these drugs are unsafe, all of them have passed the FDA's Phase 1 of basic safety testing. These drugs are already used in clinical trials. Except instead of the 3% acceptance, everyone can have access, provided they have exhausted all other available options. So why was Right to Try developed? Over 1 million Americans die from a terminal illness every year. Many spend years searching for a potential cure, or struggle in vain to get accepted into a clinical trial. Unfortunately, FDA red tape and government regulations restrict access to promising new treatments, and for those who do get access, it's often too late. Yet many say Right to Try is just feel-good legislation that won't actually help anyone. The Right to Try law gives people with terminal illness the legal right to use investigational medications years before they might otherwise be available on the market. No one can guarantee that a particular treatment will be effective, but these laws return choice and control over treatment options to where it is most effective, between the patients and their doctors. Why is Right to Try needed when there is already access to investigational clinical trials? It is needed because fewer than 3% of terminally ill patients gain access to investigational treatment through clinical trials. Right to Try was designed to help the other 97%. But are the treatments really safe? Yes. The only treatments available under Right to Try law are those that have already passed the FDA basic safety testing, and they remain within the FDA's approval process. These are no different than the treatments currently available to the 3% of patients who are lucky enough to be accepted into clinical trials. But if a patient dies, is anyone liable? No. And the same goes for clinical safety trials. Without the demonstration of reckless or willful misconduct, grossful negligence, or an intentional tort under any applicable state law, a sponsor, manufacturer, prescriber, dispenser, or other individual entity holds no liability. The measures taken are done so under the discretion of the patient as the last effort at treatment of an otherwise terminal illness. So in conclusion, despite the talking points and rhetoric from political polarizers, the passing of the Right to Try Act is logically a win for we the people. It allows terminally ill patients to exert their afforded right to life without any repercussions to those willing to aid the patient through their journey to potential recovery. Those who are critical of the act are not directly affected by its outcomes and do not have to utilize its benefits. If something is not hurting one directly, but helps others directly, keep moving, and let those who can be helped be helped. It's their choice. Thank you for spending a piece of your day here at the Clouded Out audio blog. We hope that you're enjoying the content. But before leaving, please tell us how you feel about the Right to Try Act down in the comments below. In your opinion, is it a step in the right direction or a step backward? We appreciate your feedback. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. You can read this article, along with many others, as well as see their sources on cloudedout.com. To be notified of our blog posts, you can subscribe on cloudedout.com, or you can follow us on a variety of other social media platforms, such as Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, and Minds.com. The links are down below in the video description. If you have any comments about this video, comment below. We'd love to hear what you have to say. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you would like to be notified when new videos are posted, please subscribe and enable notifications. All of this helps YouTube know that this is quality content that you like and enjoy, and it will recommend videos like these to viewers like you. Stay tuned for the next video, and we look forward to seeing and hearing from you in the future. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay informed.